Gentlemen, it's time to get into the 4-minute drill. Dun, 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 dun.
Uh-oh.
Why was it 4 minutes?
None of us have history.
All right, at some point, I want to say there's going to be a clock associated with this. It'll be like right in the middle, at the intersection of our boxes if you're watching on YouTube. But until then, I'm going to have the stopwatch go on. Here's the concept of the 4-minute drill, which Kirk Cousins, such an expert at executing. You're each going to get a minute for a total of 4 minutes. You must argue the following point in your minute, and you must be convincing. This is the prompt. Where does Dalvin Cook rank amongst players that are most valuable to the Vikings this season? Where does Dalvin Cook rank amongst most valuable players to the 2022 Vikings? Luke Braun, for no reason except I'm looking at you right now, I'm going to have you go first. Kick off the 4-minute drill. Probably get some, you want to have some completions. You want to move the football, move the chains a couple times. Let's get it going. I'll start the timer.
All right. So Dalvin Cook probably ranks higher than other running backs are going to rank on their teams. He's not just some random like James White, right? Because especially in the way that it seems like Kevin O'Connell is going to use running backs. He's got them splitting out wide. He's got them in bunches. He's been using them downfield a lot more, like McVay uses running backs downfield a lot more. So this is not just going to be, Alexander Mattison, bottom of the list. Dalvin Cook's going to be a little higher than, other teams like starting running backs. That said, you're going to put him behind Jefferson. You're going to put him behind Thielen. I'd put him behind Irv Smith, probably behind the tackles. Kirk Cousins, of course. So on just the offense, we're going to, I don't know, somewhere in the middle. And I guess if you add the defense into there, I'd probably put somebody like Dalvin Cook behind
10 seconds.
The principal defensive players like Kendrick Smith Hunter. So I'll estimate and go with 15th.
Time. 15th. 15th most important. Dalvin Cook. Paid a lot of money to be the 15th most important player on the team. Arif Hasan.
I think it's actually a little bit below 15th. In fact, maybe substantially below 15th. I think that people kind of understand my stance on this is that running backs typically do not matter. Dalvin Cook probably matters a little bit more, like Luke said, but not, I think, as much as Luke is implying. So the ways that we know that running backs are important historically and statistically is first in pass blocking, second in pass receiving, third in actually running the ball. Pass blocking, Dalvin Cook is actually bad at. Pass receiving, Dalvin Cook, I think, is unfortunately overrated by fans. He's kind of mediocre at it until we have more evidence otherwise. Third is running the ball. He's very good at that, but that's the least important skill a running back can have. The more influence you have on running the ball comes from run blocking. Now, Dalvin Cook can add 20 yards to a 20-yard run in a way that Alexander Mattison can't, but that is an exceedingly rare circumstance, does not add as much to value as being able to get those first 4 or 5 yards, which is controlled more by the offensive line than anything else. Plus, he's got a high-level replacement, Alexander Mattison, and 2 other potential replacements in Kene Nwangu and Ty Chandler. If he goes down, the Vikings running game will continue apace, and they might even get better because they've got better receivers.
Arif gets up and spikes the football, stops the clock. 2 minutes left in the 4-minute drill, and it's Luke Inman's turn.
Yeah, if it was just who's the most talented guys on the roster, Dalvin would probably be in that top 5 discussion. But when it comes to the value, it's hard to say until you know how and how often KOC is going to use Dalvin. And not just, well, what's the pass-run balance going to look like? With the old regime, it was just, we're going to line it up, run the ball 25 times, no matter what. They knew it. We know it. You can put 8 men, 9 men in the box, didn't matter. We know that's not going to be the case this time around. So seeing Dalvin and his touches drop from 25 to 15 isn't going to shock me, but how those 15 touches are dispersed and how they maximize his touches, that's going to be the catalyst to his production and efficiency in this offense. And if they play it right, those 15 touches could be more effective than what we saw under Zimmer's offense. Bottom line, though, when you look at the value of him, how far is the drop-off from the guys behind him? We know what Madison and now Kene Nwangu can offer. We know the Rams didn't have a Dalvin talent on there, but I'm going to say in that 8 to 10 range outside of Cousins, J.J. Hunter, za'darius, O'Neal, Kendricks, Thielen, and Harry, in that 8 to 10 range.
Everybody with a very measured view of Dalvin Cook. And I thought I was going to be somewhat hot of a take going out of the top 10, but I agree. I think he's out of the top 10. I look at Cousins, Jefferson, Thielen. I could argue that your third wide receiver, Osborne, might be more important. Irv Smith, and especially, too, with the lack of depth. There's no tight end depth, right? There's very little offensive tackle depth, very little edge rushing depth. So all of those players are more important. When you have Alex Madison, Kene Nwangwu, Ty Chandler, when they can all fill in for Dalvin Cook and give you 80-85% of what he's able to give you, you're going to be fine. In addition to that, Dalvin Cook is injury prone. Dalvin Cook is drop prone in the passing game, as Arif alluded to. And, I mean, he is substantially worse in the second half of seasons because of the injury problems, and that reduces his effectiveness. So I think he's about the 11th most important person. Many other positions of great positional value. That's the end of the 4-minute drill. Good job, fellas.